Hi everyone. In this practice, we're going to learn how to write the equation of a line given a slope and a point and write it in slope-intercept form. Okay, before we start, I want you to understand that we're going to be using two different formulas. We're going to use this formula here, and then we'll be using this formula here, y equals mx plus b. We're going to start with this formula here. The y sub x sub 1, y sub 1 represent the given point in the problem, and m represents the slope. For example, in this problem here, this will be x sub 1, this is y sub 1, and this is the slope. We will take these values, put them in this formula here, and then we're going to simplify this formula and rewrite it so that we have it in this form, y equals mx plus b, because this is called slope-intercept form. This is called point, slope. This is called slope-intercept form. So we want our answer in this form, our final answer in this form. All right, so let's look at the first problem. So we're going to use our formula, y minus y sub 1 equals m times the quantity of x minus x sub 1. We're going to go ahead and use our given information in this formula. Y minus y sub 1 is 2. The slope is negative 6. And x sub 1 is 3. Okay, we're going to need to distribute on the right. Negative 6 times x is negative 6x, and negative 6 times negative 3 is plus 18. Okay, we need to get it in this form, y equals mx plus b. We need to solve it for y. So we're going to add 2 to both sides. We're going to combine these numbers together. On one side, we'll get y equals negative 6x plus 20. Let me fix that plus. And now we have our answer. This is our answer in slope-intercept form. All right, let's try the next one. Y minus y sub 1 is 5 equals the slope times the quantity of x minus x sub 1 is going to be negative 2. All right, we'll have y minus 5 here. I'm going to simplify on the right. I'm going to simplify the parentheses. This is going to be x plus 2, since we have minus negative 2. And now we still need to simplify more on the right. We need to distribute negative 4 times x is negative 4x. And negative 4 times 2 is negative 8. We're going to add 5 to both sides to get y by itself. We'll have y equals negative 4x and negative 8 plus 5 combined to give us minus 3. So then our answer in slope-intercept form is this, y equals negative 4x minus 3. I'll write it down here. Y equals negative 4x minus 3. That's our answer. In slope-intercept form. Why don't you try the next 2, 3, and 4, and then come back and check and see how you did. I will continue. Y minus y sub 1 is going to be negative 1 equals the slope times the quantity of x minus this number here, x sub 1, 2. Okay, so this is going to be y plus 1 on this side equals, when we distribute, we'll get 7x, distribute again, minus 14. We will subtract 1 from both sides so we can get the y by itself. So we'll have 7x minus 15. And now we've got the equation in slope-intercept form. All right, number 5. Y minus y sub 1, which will be 2, equals 5 times the quantity of x minus x sub 1, negative 1. We are subtracting negative 1, so we'll get this. Y minus 2, I'm going to simplify what I have here, so that's going to be x plus 1. And now I'm going to distribute here, here. So we'll have, and I don't want to use red now. So we'll have y minus 2 on this side equals 5x plus 5. We will add 2 to both sides. We'll have y equals 5x plus 7. So we have our equation in slope-intercept form. All right, so let's look at number 5 and 6. Let's do those together since they include fractions, which may require more steps. So let's use our formula. Y minus y sub 1, which is negative 2, equals the slope 3/4 times the quantity of x minus x sub 1, which is 4. Remember, this point here represents our x sub 1, y sub 1 values. All right, let me simplify here. That's the same thing as y plus 2 equals 3/4 times x minus 4. All right, so we want to get rid of this fraction to make it easier to simplify. So let's multiply through by 4. Let's multiply every term by 4. Here, here, and here. Okay, we don't need to multiply anything inside by 4 because that 4 is going to get distributed. Okay, we don't want to double multiply. All right, so then we'll have 4y plus 8 equals, you see the 4's will cancel here. You'll have 3 times x, 3x, and 3 times minus 4 is minus 12. And now we don't have fractions anymore. Let's get these numbers on the same side together. So let's subtract 8 from both sides. And we'll end up with, let me write it over here, 4y on this side equals 3x minus 20. We have one more step. We've got to solve for y. So we're going to divide through by 4 each term. And so our answer is going to be y equals 3/4 x minus 20 over 4 minus 5. So that's our answer. All right, let's look at the next one. Y minus y sub 1 is going to be negative 3. So our equals 2/3 times the quantity of x minus 3. Remember, this is x sub 1, y sub 1. Okay, so this is going to be y plus 3 equals 2/3 x minus 3. Okay, let's multiply by the least common multiple, which is 3. So multiply this by 3, multiply this by 3, multiply this by 3. Now let's simplify. So we'll have 3y plus 9. The 3's here will cancel. We'll have 2x when we distribute the 2 times x, and 2 times minus 3 is going to be minus 6. Let's get these numbers together. So subtract 9 from both sides. We'll have 3y equals 2x minus 15. And then we'll divide through by 3 to solve for y. So we're going to get y equals 2/3 x minus 5. And that is our answer. Right here. All right, I'm going to go on and do 7 and 8. You pause the video and then come back and check and see how you did. Y minus y sub 1, which would be 0, equals 2/5 times the quantity of x minus, that's not 4, that's negative 4. So let's simplify. That's just going to be y equals 2/5 x plus 4. We just need to distribute here and here. Y equals 2/5 x. And then we'll distribute here times 2 times 4. So we'll get 8/5. You can treat that as a fraction. 2 times 4 is 8 and 5 times 1 is 5. And that's our equation in slope-intercept form. Let's try the next one. Y minus negative 2 equals 3/5 times the quantity of x minus x of 1. In this case, it's 0. So we'll have y plus 2 equals 3/5. We're going to distribute 3/5 x. And then if we distribute that to 0, we're just going to have 0. So the last step, we're going to subtract 2 from both sides. We'll have y equals 3/5 x minus 2. That gives us our equation in slope-intercept form. All right, in this part of the practice, we are going to find the slope and the y-intercept for each equation, which is actually a lot less work than we did in the other practice. All right, so we're looking for the slope, m, and we're looking for the y-intercept. Well, here's the slope. The slope is the number or fraction in front of x. The slope is 1/3. And this is the y-intercept. Because this is in slope-intercept form, this is the y-intercept. So this is where the line crosses the y-axis. So if this is where the line crosses the y-axis, if y is negative 5, that means x is 0. So that's our y-intercept. All right, let's look at the next one. Our slope is the number or fraction or decimal in front of x. That would be 3/8. And this is our y-intercept. Okay, this is where the line crosses the y-axis. In that case, x has to be 0 when the line crosses the y-axis at negative 2. Okay, number 11. By the way, this is called function notation. It's another way to write equations and functions. It means the same thing as if we wrote it this way. So we can replace f of x with y and it will mean the same thing. And we can put a 1 over here so we can see that this is 1/2 x plus 1. So basically we changed the notation a little bit here and we wrote out the 1/2 here. So now the slope is 1/2 and the y-intercept, this is the y-intercept. If this is where the line crosses the y-intercept, then the x value will be 0. Okay, so we can rewrite that. F of x means the same thing as y. So the slope is 5/3 and the y-intercept, we get it from here. It's going to be, the x is going to be 0 and the y is 7. All right, so this one here is not given in slope-intercept form, so we have to put it in slope-intercept form first to determine what the slope and the y-intercept is. So let's distribute first. So I'll have y minus 5 equals 6x minus 24. We will add 5 to both sides to get all the numbers combined together on one side. We'll have y equals 6x minus 19. Now we have it in slope-intercept form. So the slope is 6 and the y-intercept is 0, negative 19. All right, number 14. Again, we have to solve it for y. So we have to distribute this side, y plus 2. Let's copy this side. 6x minus 6. Let's subtract 2 from both sides. Y equals 6x minus 8. And now that we have it in slope-intercept form, slope is 6 and the y-intercept is 0, negative 8. All right, why don't you pause the video and try this one on your own and come back and check. Distribute. Add 3 to both sides to get all the numbers combined on one side. Okay, so then now that we have it in slope-intercept form, the slope is 2 and the y-intercept is 0, 7. All right, let's look at number 16. We have to solve this for y. And you see we have fractions this time, so we've got to get rid of the fractions. We're going to multiply through by the least common multiple. You can do this if you want. Just put parentheses around this and tell yourself that I'm multiplying every term by 5. And then I have to multiply this side here by 5 also. Because this is a product, I just need to put it outside. Everything gets multiplied by 5 when we do that. So now let's go ahead and distribute here. So we'll have 5y minus 15 equals, you see the 5's cancel each other out. The 1 is not going to change the quantity of x minus 5 if you multiply it by 1. Okay, so we can now add 15 to both sides. 5y equals x plus 10. We'll divide through by 5. And we'll have y equals, we can put a 1 over here, 1/5 x plus 2. So our slope is 1/5. And our y-intercept is 0, 2. This is where the line crosses the y-axis. That means x has to be 0. All right, you try number 17 and come back and check. Okay, we're going to multiply through by 4, both sides to get rid of the fraction. So we'll have 4y when we distribute minus 12 equals, the 4's will cancel each other out, and we'll have 1 times the parentheses, which will just be the parentheses, but actually we don't need the parentheses anymore. Because there's nothing to distribute, so it'll just be x minus 4. Now let's add 12 to both sides. 4y equals x plus 8. We'll have to divide through by 4. Could put a 1 here, so the 4's will cancel. We'll have y equals 1/4 x plus 2. So our slope is 1/4 and our y-intercept is 0, 2. All right, let's look at number 18. Let's do this. Let's multiply through by 3 again to get rid of the fraction. So multiply this side by 3 and multiply this side by 3. So that means I have to distribute this 3 to every term on this side. That'll give me 3y plus 6. On this side, you see the 3's will cancel each other out. I'll just have 2 times the quantity of x plus 2. All right, let's keep simplifying. Distribute, you're going to get 2x. Distribute again, 2 times 2, you'll get 4. Let's subtract 6 from both sides. Get all the numbers on one side. 4 minus 6 is minus 2. Divide through by 3. So then y equals 2/3 x minus 2/3. So then our slope is 2/3 and our y-intercept is 0, negative 2/3. And this concludes this practice.